Alright. Welcome back to Algebra 1, Chapter 6, Section 2, Substitution. So, in Chapter 6.1, we looked at solving by graphing. Now, graphing isn't always going to be the best method to solve a system of equations. Okay, for example, if you have this system of equations right here, well, negative 2 and 1/2, so there's negative 2, up 1 over 2, and then continue graphing those in both directions, and then put a line through them. Okay, there's one line. Now, if I want to graph this, that's a slope that's 0 for the y-intercept, and then down 2 over 3. And if I connect these, notice where those intersect, that point isn't any specific coordinate there. It's hard for me to read that. It's not really 2 and negative 1. That would just be an estimate. It looks like it's less than that. So this wouldn't be a situation where graphing is a good way to solve this. Okay, so another way that I can solve is by substituting. Substitution. Substitution basically means if you know what one of the variables is, you can replace one of the variables. So if I know, for example, that x equals 2, then I can replace x with 2, and I can substitute 2 in for x right there, plus 1. And then I get y equals 4 plus 1, which y equals 5, if I know that x equals 2. However, if you are given two equations, if I want to substitute here, this is solved. I know that y equals 2x plus 1. So I can replace y over here with 2x plus 1. Okay, so here I have y. I'm going to replace it with the 2x plus 1 because I know y equals this, so I can just replace y with that value. So I'm going to take the 3x and then plus the 2x plus 1 because that's what y is. Remember, this right here is y. And then that equals negative 9. Now there's only one variable, and we can solve an equation with one variable. Combine like terms. 5x plus 1, subtract the 1 from each side, and we get 5x is equal to negative 10. Divide by 5, and we get x is negative 2. Now that I've found x, I can take that value and plug that back in for x in the original equation. Okay, so I'll take that, plug that back in. Then I get x 2 times negative 2 plus 1. Work this one out. Y equals negative 4 plus 1. And then y equals negative 3. So the solution to both of these equations is negative 2 and negative 3. There's my solution. I used substitution. Right, here's an example. Now notice neither of these is solved for one of the variables. Okay, the ideal variable to solve for would be the one that doesn't have a coefficient. So go ahead, pause this video, solve for x, and then substitute what you get in for x over here. Go ahead, pause now. Okay, so subtracting 2y from each side, you get x is equal to negative 2y plus 6. Plug this in for y over here. Plug this in for x. We have just solved for x. Plug it in right here. Then we get 3 times negative 2y plus 6 minus 4y equals 28. Okay, I'll give you another chance to pause right here and solve that. Go ahead and pause. Okay, so you do distributive property, get negative 6y plus 18 minus 4y, combine like terms, negative 10y plus 18 is equal to 28. Subtract 18 from each side. You get negative 10y is equal to 10. Divide by 10. Divide by negative 10. and you get y is equal to -1. Now that we've found this, we can take that value and plug it back into the original equation. Okay, we'll take the y is -1, plug that back in up here. If you haven't done so already, pause now and solve that for yourself, and then check back for the answer. Alright, after substituting -1 in here for y, we get x equals 8, so my solution is 8 and -1. Alright, 1/3 example here. Y is 2x minus 4. Notice this is already solved for y, so we're going to use this and substitute that in for y. Okay, so we're going to have -6x plus 3 times 2x minus 4 is equal to -12. Okay, go ahead and pause the video here and try to solve this, see what you get. Okay, after distributive property, the -6 and +6 cancel out, and you get -12 is equal to -12. Well, that is a correct statement. What does this mean? This means there are an infinite number of solutions. Why? Well, if you go back to your original equation and solve it for y, put 6 on the other side, then we get 3y is equal to 6x minus 12. Divide the entire thing by 3, and we get y is equal to 2x minus 4. Compare this to your original equation, and you will see those are the same line. So, infinite number of solutions, same slope, same y-intercept. Now, if you'd come out with something like -12 equals +12, if this wasn't a negative but a positive, then that would be the same slope. That means there's no solution because they're parallel lines. And that's all there is to this. Remember to like and subscribe to the Mastermind channel.